Alright, so let's get into starting our new bot. So let's go ahead, we're going to open folder. We're going to go to our documents, our projects, and we're going to just make a new folder. So this is going to be Discord tutorial bot. Alright, and we'll select folder. As you can see, now we have a nice selection. Go ahead and get rid of that. We're going to add a new file. We're just going to call this config.ini. We'll open this, and we're going to start with a header, Discord. And the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need a bot token. So what do we put after the equal sign here? Well, now we're going to go to the Discord developer portal. Go ahead, click on applications. We're going to make a new application. I'm going to call this tutorial bot. Create. Now we have some stuff we can input, but we're going to go down to bot, add bot, yes, do it, and tutorial bot. Now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this token, and we're just going to paste it in here. Now, this token is not something you want anyone else to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to regenerate my token, copy it, and I'm going to paste it in, and we'll be back. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a quick file to make use of our config file. So we're just going to call this bot.py. And we're going to import config parser, and then config equals config parser dot config parser config dot read our file key equals config Discord, and then our token equals key bot token. So what that's telling is we're going to use config parser to get information from another file. We're going to read a file specified. So here's just same file, or in the same folder, that file. Now what we're looking for is this heading Discord. That is the key we're going to use. And in that key, the variable stated below that of bot token, we want that to be equal to the token. We need to add, we got to add our intents for our bot, but before we do that, we don't want it to be a public bot, just because we want this to be our own private bot. We do want presence intent, the server member's intent, and we want message content intent. Now, this is going to be required to receive message content in most messages. And after April 30th, if your bot is in 100 or more servers, it's going to require verification and approval. And from what I've seen, that's not really going to happen. That's why they're going to slash commands, if you've seen those. So, if your bot's small, that doesn't really apply. Bot permissions, so we're just going to give it some text permissions. If you know anything about Discord permissions, you'll know what these all do. If you make a music bot, you're going to need some of these. We're going to grab this one, and for the general permissions, if you want it to help moderate your server, mod members, you're going to want ban, kick members, maybe manage roles. But we'll just go ahead and save those changes. Now go to Oauth2 URL Generator. We have a bot, and we want application commands, just so we have those for later. Those are for / commands. But we're going to go ahead and grab our permissions. This will help us do quite a lot of things. We'll use / commands maybe in the future. And now we need to, well, we're going to need a link to Discord, but we are also going to need a server. So let's go ahead and create our own little server real quick. Add server, create my own for me and my friends. Tutorial server. Alright, so now that we've got the tutorial server, let's go ahead and copy this link. And as you see, no one's really here. Pop this link in. Select a server. Let's see, verify that I'm a human. Alright, so now as you can see, tutorial bot has entered the server, but it's offline. So let's go ahead and we're going to open up PowerShell. At least that's what I use. You can use Command Terminal, or VS Code actually has a terminal you can run. But you're going to need to install PyCord, which I believe is -u cord. Let me just double check. So PyCord is a subset of instructions that you can run for dealing with Discord. So pip install -u PyCord. Okay. Now I already have it. And at the same time, because it already uses another library, alright, there it is. So this is pip install -u discord.py. I would just potentially do this too. Double check. Discord.py. We'll probably already have everything. Alright, so, but by doing that, you've just installed a lot of stuff you're going to need to just write commands. Now, if you've just installed that, and you have your VS Code open, and you had not previously, I would close it and just reopen it. It's going to refresh it and bring everything in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to import Discord, and we're going to, from discord.ext, import commands. Now, first things, well, to make our bot run, it's very simple. So we need to make a few other things. So we set up those intents. They're gonna equal Discord intents dot default intents dot members is going to equal true. Alright. Now we need to set up a client. So we're just going to say client equals commands.bot. We want capital bot. So we want, we're going to put in our command prefix. Okay, there we go. Command prefix. Now here is where you set whatever symbol or whatever you want to have your bot be called. Now you could just simply do this, which means your bot will look at every message, and if it sees something that it thinks it should reply to, it will. We're going to do client.run. and token. So that is the basis of a bot that can turn on. Now this bot can't actually interact. There is no code to make it interact. So let's get something set up. So we need a decorator here. So this will be saying, hey client, check out stuff on event. And we're gonna make this an asynchronous function, meaning it happens when it happens. It doesn't have set time. So on ready, we're just gonna print that we have logged in as 0. We're actually just gonna say we logged in as a client, and we're gonna say .user here. Pretty simple. Now, to get that to work, we got to go up front here, and we're going to put this F. So this should, as soon as we hit start, and I'm going to go start debugging. Debugging, in my opinion, is easier, especially when you're doing this, because you can just Control-Shift F5 to restart. So we have logged in as tutorial bot 4549. Okay, well, it shows the bots online. 4549. Cool. And now, if you start typing commands, anything, it's going to say that none of those are found. So let's go ahead and make our first command. So, at client, command, and let's just call this ping CTX. So again, asynchronous def means this can run at any time. The bot just has to listen for it. Now, ping is going to be what you type to get this command. CTX is content or context. In this instance, it's going to be ping. So the bot's going to listen for ping. Now, based on ping, we're going to tell it that we want it to, when it sees ping, we want it to send a message. So CTX send, and we're going to do F. This is another F string here, and we're going to have it say pong, and then say, we're going to do some rounding real quick. Client latency, multiply it by 1,000, which will give us the milliseconds of our latency. And then real quick, we just set return to tell it that it's done with our function. So let's go ahead, refresh our bot. Let's see if ping works. So we should just only have to type ping. We shouldn't need any kind of set symbol. Pong, 57 milliseconds. So I'm hosting it right here on my machine. So not too bad. Alright. So that's our first command. Now what kind of command do we want? How about, let's show you something simple. Again, another command. Another async def. And we're going to call this add. We're going to do CTX, comma. And now we're going to specify that we're going to say number 1 and number 2. So now what we want to do is, so let's do something that it's not going to show what we really want to happen here. So let's say ctx.send equals ctx send, we're just going to say num1 plus num2. Alright, so let's refresh our bot. And let's see what happens. Alright, so add 8, 5. Ooh, 85. Well, that's not right. Well, let's go through why that's not right. So, you're asking for input from the user. We bring that input in as a string value. So, since we bring that value in as a string value, our problem is when we add strings or concatenate, strings just go one followed by the next. So just to show, so if I were to put, and it doesn't know that I'm supposed to be requesting numbers, if I put add rest room, that actually pretty much does exactly what we would have wanted if we would have programmed it to try to combine words. But we want to combine numbers. So how do we fix this? Well, here's how I'm going to fix this. We're going to put sum equal to float num1 plus float num2. And now we're going to get rid of these, and we're just going to put sum in here. Alright. Now I put floats in. I could have put ints. I could have put integer. So I could have done this for both of them. But I want float just because float gives you access to decimals. So let's try that again. Add 8, 5. We got 13. Alright. Well, what if we add 8.2 and 5.7? Should be 13.9, right? Okay. Well, problem is floats are a little off in this instance, but still pretty much what you want. It's not 100% perfect in this instance, but it would work. And if you were just doing simple addition. But the point we're trying to make here is the input you get from a user is always a string. You have to pay attention to when you want to convert that to a number, to a float, so integer or float. And you just have to pay attention to when that needs done. So, there you go. Nice, simple command. Now, let's get into an actual really fun command. And I've seen commands similar to this on other people's servers and bots, but we're just going to call this slap. So we're going to have ctx. Alright. You ready for this? So the way this one works, slap, we're going to say user equals, we need to go up, we need to import. Let's go ahead and import random. So this is a random number generator. So we want to random dot choice, and we're asking for a random choice of some information we're going to give. The information we're going to give is ctx dot, this is going to be a lot, message dot channel dot guild dot members. Yes. And now we're going to call slapper equal to ctx dot author dot mention. Alright, now we're going to await ctx. We're going to send. We're going to send, oops, f string. We're going to say, ouch. going to say slapper slapped user, and we're going to tell it to mention them. And if I had more people in the server, you would definitely see how it is working on random, but we're just going to slap, and it goes, ouch, I slapped tutorial bot. Now if we had a few more people in here, so really cool. So really cool, bunch of commands, really short, really sweet. And here's something for you to really think about. And this is going to help you a lot. Let's say you didn't really know how to get this. Well, let's just go ahead and, let me go to Firefox. Okay? So you're going to Google, let's say, so we're going to type in Discord, Python, and here, mention random Discord member. And I think, actually that probably works. Something similar. Okay, so user equals random.choice ctx message channel guild members. Alright? So that's exactly the same thing that I have. And again, we're going to go ahead and let's do PyCord. And this is the documentation. So what you want is, actually this should be fine. So here they give you examples of stuff to get everything set up. So here is the commands. So event reference. So you have different events. So uncommand error, uncommand completion. You have, here are decorators. So like I said, we were using command. This can make groups. So there is a lot around here. You could check through and just find a ton of info. Let me go here. So you have command. So you can run callbacks, cogs. We'll get into cogs probably in the next video. But there is a lot. Let's go ahead and we'll add one more thing. And we'll go like this. Let's say you only wanted certain people to be able to slap. You didn't want just random people coming in the server and being able to slap people. That'd be mayhem. So we're going to do at commands dot, we're going to say has any role. Now we don't have any roles in our server, but let's say you're looking for someone who has a member role or admin role. Or you have, mod or what have you. So what this will do with saying, be like, so here's the command. We want to wait for slap, but only execute if the calling member, or if the calling person is a member, admin, or mod. So you can build commands for yourself that only you can use. And there is also is owner. So you can check if, you could check if the owner is doing it, the owner of the bot, which currently would be me. I'm the owner of the bot. So if I were to rerun this code, it should still work for me. Yep, still works for me, but if someone else were to try it, would not work. But that is not something that you use. Is-owner is not something you use a whole lot, but as the developer, you might use it for certain functions, or especially if you're wanting to test out a new function, you might make it only so you use it, so you don't deal with seeing a ton of logs go by because someone goes, oh, they're testing a new command, I want to try that. Short video for the day. Simple, sweet. So this is basic of, you type something, and then the bot just responds with an answer. We get some data from someone, and we send it back in a computated way. There are more things you could do with that. And then here, we're telling it that, oh man, we want it to do something random with people. So this will get you a fair number of commands. And also, I do believe, because we should have a help menu. So here you go. So here's the help menu. But let's do one other thing. If we go up here, we're going to put help command to none. So if we put help command to 1, or to none, and you saw it just populate, but now we do this, now we no longer have a help command, which means now we could just build our own help command, which would be very nice. So if you want to build your own help command, that is going to do a lot for you. But if you don't want to build one, you have, this here is a built-in one. Now we're going to show one other thing. Is I said we left this blank so that the bot would just respond. I'm going to put a minus sign. So now to run commands, we do minus ping. Because if we type ping, the bot doesn't listen to us. Likewise, now we can put in exclamation point. So now if we exclamation ping, but if we try the last one, that no longer works, and neither does regular text. Now, one you could use is you could use the @ symbol. There is a problem with using this. Using @ symbol, now you could tag people or try to use a command. And in my honest opinion, using the @ symbol is going to be a recipe for disaster, because you're going to have people trying to use commands and they're going to get upset trying to use your bot when they just start tagging people by accident. So I would leave it blank. I would do a dash, period, exclamation, question mark. You could make it be bot, command prefix, bot space. So if we do this, bot ping, bot slap. But if we type bot slap, doesn't work. Likewise, we're going to simply take out a space. And now bot slap is different than bot slap. So that's all stuff to think about. But in my opinion, the easiest way is either exclamation point, dash, could do underscore, period, question mark. You could do $sign if you wanted, ampersand. So my opinion, like I said, just simple, anything, period, exclamation point, dash. I think they all work fine. Just my opinions. So Well, that's all for this episode. We're going to add some more commands in the next one. And I hope you're ready to get into a little bit more complex commands. See you next week.